So this is the fourth session of this database. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Just let me know whenever the connection is missing, so that I will repeat it. Okay. So the fourth one is that be able to review the process of design and implementation of the database. Critically evaluate the design documentation, identifying improvements where appropriate, review the database implementation process to establish lessons learned. Now, there is an assumption that you are able to implement the database, you are able to design the database, and you have sufficient understanding of the database concepts. And then at some point you need a documentation of the database architecture, documentation of the database components, and then you should be able to review, you should be able to inspect the design, you should be able to inspect the code, you should be able to inspect the security aspects of the database, and you should be able to inspect the pre-implementation and post-implementation reviews. So these concerns have been discussed into this learning outcome. Let me start with database documentation or database design documentation. The topic, the documenting a database during its development is best practice to ensure that the organizational schema, data objects, and other related informations are captured for future reference. So whatever you are creating, you need to document. You must have heard about creating a document for anything. For example, if it is a software, if it is anything architectural design of a home, or any user manual that comes with any device, anything is helpful for future use. This document often takes many forms, including the database documentation includes data dictionary, the database administrator guides, database architecture documentation, database functional specification. So normally, you in our previous lectures, I gave you an idea of the data dictionary, which stores all the information about the table names, the table sizes, the field names, the relationships between the tables, and many things here. It has multiple purpose like database architects, database developers, database administrators, production support staff, quality assurance staff. They can always use the database documentation, because if you are handing over the database to someone, they will not be checking that what is in the database and what is not in the database, but they will need to check the database documentation. So that's why the database documentation is important. Information included in the data dictionary is hidden from the normal users. For example, the database data dictionary, the normal user won't be able to see. For example, if you are selling a database and there is a data dictionary, then it is not accessible by the normal users, but the developers will have the access to locate it and manage the functions, and to manage the structure of the database. Now, the elements to include in your database documentation can be, for example, which data members you are using, what are their names, what are their descriptions, which security options are provided for them. For example, which table is accessible to which users. That's also the concern. The relationships between the elements is also mentioned there. Apart from this, like in which format the data is stored, there are many things. I haven't skipped all the information from these slides, but I have left for you so that you can read one by one, and if you want it, then you can cross check and the in more detail. Yeah. So database documentation needs this information, especially regarding the elements and everything in detail. In particular, for example, if you have a table, then a database table, it is more specifically explained for its documentation that can include, for example, a table name can be the part of the database documentation. This is a kind of superficial documentation that database table are owner name, the data element, column names and details, key order for the all elements, database index information, technical table organization, duplicate rows, data element list, table security classifications. Now these terms at this stage, that the table name, table elements, the relationships, the integrity constraints, and primary keys, foreign keys, we already have discussed these. So you can always go back to the previous lectures and what these terms are. The overall information into the database architect, the documentation that needs to be included here. The database architecture. The database architecture itself is the information about the design, development, implementation, and maintenance of the database in the form of computer program that stores and organizes the information for the businesses, agencies, and institutions. A database architect develops and implements software to meet the needs of users. So there are different types of the databases. So for every database, there is an architecture which explains the design, development, implementation, and maintenance features. So this, once you are done with your database, so you need to consider that what is your database design, how it is development, how it is implemented, which maintenance features are there. So simple, that what are the components of the database? A database components includes one or more tables for the data, a query language that retrieves the specific data elements, forms for displaying the data. Additional components can be reporting tools or customized views. And in simple relational database have a schema that defines the relationship between the tables and may include the components that automate routine tasks or any retrieval queries. So previously we already have discussed the relationships between the databases, the ERD, the entity relationship diagrams, the primary keys, foreign keys. So all they become the database components, including tables, views, reports, forms. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now the next is the components should be reviewed. The database components should be reviewed. How they should be reviewed? Let us see that what is review. A design reviews are an important aspects of system development life cycle for database applications. When you want to do something, then you need to review. If you don't review, then obviously you will not be aware that what you are doing. Yeah. A review is during the design review, all aspects of the databases and application code are reviewed for efficiency, effectiveness, and accuracy. If you don't review for the efficiency, effectiveness, and accuracy, then obviously you will fail. In every sort of life, when you want to create something, if you want to create something after design, after the requirements, then if you don't review, then obviously you will fail for the efficient and effective and accurate system. It is imperative that all database applications, regardless of their size, are reviewed to assure that application was designed properly, efficient coding techniques were used, and the database is accessed and modified correctly and efficiently. So certain different types of reviews are existing there. A design review is an important process for checking the validity of the design decisions. So once you have designed the database, you should review the database from different perspectives. There are 7 basic design reviews for the database application. For example, conceptual design review, logical design review, physical design review, organizational design review, SQL and application code review, pre-implementation review, and post-implementation design review. So let us go a little bit into the each. Conceptual design review. This is the first phase, should be the conceptual design review. The purpose of this review is to validate the application concept. This involves a presentation of the statement of the purpose as well as general overview of the desired functionality that will be provided by the application. A conceptual design review should be conducted as early as possible to determine overall feasibility of the project. Does it make sense that if you want to create a new application, then initially you should look at the feasibility and the design, that whether it should be feasible or not. Failure to conduct a conceptual design review can result in project which provides a duplicate or inadequate functionality. For example, if you didn't look at that how many tables are needed, then obviously you will come up with the duplication of the data. Projects which are cancelled due to the lack of funds. For example, if you didn't review the design and you came up with the very big project, then obviously you won't be able to complete. For example, if you don't have a staffing, you don't have a planning, user participation and management interest are over budget projects. So you must analyze, review the database first according to the requirements, and then you should go ahead. Otherwise, you will be in problem of these kind of problems facing. Logical design review. The second phase is the logical design review. This should be conducted when the first cut of the logical data model has been completed. In the first review, this is the second one, a thorough review of all data, elements, descriptions, relationships should occur during the logical design review. It should scrutinize the following. Has the logical model been thoroughly examined to ensure that all of the required business functionality can be achieved based solely upon the model? So once you have the requirement, you need to ensure that whether this functionality can be achieved or not. For example, if you wanted to create a database, for example, for the normal entity, let's say a school or college, yeah. But if you wanted to create a database for a complex, for example, ordering process or complex domain, let's say any scientific or let's say mix-up, domain where 2 or 3 or 4 companies are involved, yeah, and you wanted to store all the information, of different companies for one purpose. For example, if you have a new garage for the repairing maintenance of the cars, and if you are trying to create a database for the customer services, as well as if you wanted to store the information about the parts, obviously the parts you will be buying from other suppliers, there could be possibility then you may not be able to manage the listings of the parts into your database. That can be the problem. So logically, this is one kind of the example. So this is a problem as well. Is the model in at least third normal form? So if your logical review is not good, if it is not in third normal form, then obviously you will have a duplication of data. You can recall that what was the third normal form. I don't want to repeat here, but at the logical review, you should consider these things. Have all of the data elements, entities, and attributes required for this application been identified? Have the data elements which have been identified been documented accurately? Have all of the relationships between been defined properly? So at the logical level, the first level was design level, was considered that what are the requirements, are they achievable. In the second review, it is identified that is the data properly within the structure. So logical design is to be reviewed. In the next, the physical design review. The physical design review is the third design review phase. It is in this component which most DB2 level developers associate with the design review process. This is where the database is reviewed in detail to ensure that all of the proper design choices were made. For example, the database administrator and database administrator should ensure that proper translation from the logical to physical was made, including conformance to standards. Basically, these are certain roles we have already discussed here. One is the data administrator. Yeah, the data administrator is wholly solely responsible to give you the data, while the database administrator, in coordination, they will confer to each of them whether the information given is capable to fit into the physical design or not. That's also the concern. Next is these are simply the physical. You only remember that physical design review, that the data given by the data administrator and is it feasible to be processed by the database administrator. The translation from the logical to physical phase. Are you getting?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have already given the most of the theoretical stuff here, so that you shouldn't need to read the books, but you can always read these line by line. But I'm giving you the a core summary into few words. Yeah, that how these concepts how these topics are important to you. You try to catch from the wordings, and when you wanted to understand in detail, and when you wanted to include these concepts into your assignments, then you can always compare with these definitions and include into your assignment. So next is organizational review. Smaller in scope, no less critical, is the organization design review. This review addresses the enterprise-wide concerns of the organization with respect to the application being reviewed. Common review points include how does this system interact with other systems in the organization. For example, if you have a new database designed within the organization, then can this newly designed database interact with existing database which is working there? Does it make a sense?
Yes.
Yeah. How has the logical model for this application been integrated with the enterprise data model? For example, if you offer some company that, okay, you are going to develop a new and efficient database system for the organization, is that model been designed with the enterprise model? Yeah. Maybe there could be the possibility that you created your own model and it had the many, complexities. To what extent this application share the data of the other applications? To what extent can other applications share this application? Yeah. So legacy systems and integration with the legacy uh, softwares. Legacy softwares means those that are developed previously. Is there any compatibility between the your design database with the existing one? So that's the organizational design review. Next is the SQL design review. The SQL design review must occur for each SQL statement prior to the production turnover. The SQL design review should consist of the following analysis, and explain should be run for each SQL statement using production statistics. The plan tables should then be analyzed to determine if the most efficient access paths have been chosen. If a plan analysis tool is available, the output from it should be analyzed. Every program should be reviewed to validate that insufficient host language, COBOL, Java, etc. constructs were not used. In addition, efficient SQL implemented inefficiently with loops, blah, blah, blah. Now, let me tell you in simple form. SQL design review. With respect to the previous concept, perhaps you remember at the levels of the database. Faisal, do you remember? One was the logical level, one was the physical level, and one was the internal level. Yeah, and the middle level as well.
Okay.
The SQL was sitting in the middle layer. Yeah, and
Okay.
SQL was inquiring the database for the user. Yeah.
So
Now
you don't need to make a database by the only SQL.
say again.
SQL, that means you mean that we don't need to make any database only based on SQL.
No,
SQL is a bias that is a demoralize or filterize your data.
no. The concept is here. The database you are creating, is the SQL capable to communicate with other databases, other languages?
Okay.
For example, if you wanted to create your user interface into COBOL, Java, and other languages, then is it compatible?
Okay.
Yeah. If it is compatible, then you are okay. For example, if you use the old SQL version and that SQL version did not support it, to the front end view or the front inference engine, then you are not, successful. For example, if the old system is running into the database and you wanted to provide a database with a new SQL version, yeah, then obviously the new SQL queries will not be supported by the existing, the software application that is running over there. Yeah, because what happens, companies, those who want to upgrade their software systems, they don't want to replace the existing softwares. They want the upgradations. Yeah, and if you won't provide the facility to interact with your SQL design with their modules, then you are fail. So SQL design review is important in this regard, in simple words.
Okay.
Pre-implementation design review. This is simply consists of overall review of the system components prior to implementation. Loose ends which exist from the previous 5 phases should be cleaned up. And final, a quick review of each application component should be performed. Participants should include these are some terms used by different roles. Few of them are DBA administrator, EU, and these things. I forgot to include their full forms, but I will send you these later on.
Okay.
Yeah. So pre-implementation, before you are going to implement this, the database, you should make sure that you have done all the 5 reviews before.
Okay.
All 5, that SQL design review, physical review, organizational review. Post implementation design review. Once you have implemented, the final phase is the post implementation design review. This is necessary in order to determine if the application is meeting its objectives. These objectives include both performance objectives and functionality objectives. If any objective is not being met, a plan for addressing the deficiency must be proposed and acted upon. So you need to look at the objective of performance and functionality. Did you remember that I explained previously the functional and non-functional testing?
Yeah.
So if you are doing the functional testing, it means you are testing each and every component. If you want to check the non-functional testing, it means you want to look at the performance testing.
Okay.
So performance is basically the non-functional testing. Next topic is code inspection. Code inspection is the most formal type of review, which is a kind of statistics testing to avoid the defect multiplication at later stage. The main purpose of code inspection is to find the defects, and it can also spot any process improvements. Basically, when you created a program, it will have a sub-programs. Whether if, for example, if the whole program can generate any errors, it is better to inspect each and every line individually without executing, that whether is there any logical error or not.
Okay.
Now let me give you in 3 words. For example, the errors. When you are doing a programming, then the syntax error could be that you are typing it wrong. And the synthetic error will be that you are writing your program, but use of the language or the variables, for example, before or after, you are not getting the correct answers. So at this stage, you should inspect your code. Maybe in the next other units, I will explain in more detail the types of the errors which can be found. But when regarding the database inspection concern is that you should inspect each and every code without executing. Okay, it's better to check this before you said, okay, no, I have made this program database. You go and try this. If you find any error, then let me know.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Security inspection. All database accounts should be audited periodically to determine if they have the relevant permissions to access the database. Accounts should also be reviewed regularly to determine if current permissions are appropriate. So if you want to inspect if any offending account should be deleted by the DBA or application staff, so the list should be updated. For example, there was for example, an employee who left the company, and it is mandatory to check that is that account existing or not. Yeah, account list, for example, for those, because we are inspecting the security of the database, no matter
Okay.
that your database is secured. Yeah, but if you forgot to delete the account of an ex-employee, then that employee can
Access the
harm this.
database.
The access
Yeah,
to that. Yeah.
sorry.
No, the employee can access the database, isn't it?
Yeah, because you didn't check the security aspect, so that's why
That
the
that
security.
thing we have to update every time something change.
Yeah, like all database accounts should be audited periodically. Periodically means with time, with particular time. Let's say for every week, every month. Let's say every day, depends on which type of application is it, to determine if they have the relevant permissions to access the database. Accounts should also be reviewed regularly to determine if the current permissions are appropriate. Any offending account should be deleted by the DBA or the application staff. This is what I told you, that it should be updated. Vulnerable passwords. All user passwords should be changed periodically for security reasons. More important, during the installation of the databases, default usernames and passwords, i.e. admin must be changed immediately after the installation. So for example, if you are using any sensitive website, database, whatever, you must have seen the options. For example, if you were given the password of Moodle, yeah, then maybe Moodle administrator sent you one password, and after first login you are obliged to change it, isn't it?
Yes, so first they give us a temporary password, after that we can set our
Yeah,
own password.
yeah. So these policies should be make sure that you change the passwords on time. Yeah. And what happened
Okay.
mostly, when you install many databases, or that default passwords are used to start with, and people forget to remove the passwords or change the default passwords. For example, if you created a website based on Joomla or content management system, you install it, you did everything, but as a developer, someone tried to access the website design interface using the password of admin, then you are compromised. The security is compromised, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And similarly, for example, if you gave someone the access to your Wi-Fi router, yeah, and mostly if someone guest came to you, if you shared your Wi-Fi key, but the default password admin is same always, people, we don't change it. So these are the security concerns. And then some how to make this secure communications using the encryption, reset database ports, block connections, and there are many options there to make the application secure. Yeah, there's no need to go into the detail, but I have listed here for you additionally that these are the because every applications has their own uh, features. For example, when you are using the database using, oh sorry, the website, when you say, let's say www.faisal.com, if it is not secure, then it will take a port, yeah, from 8080. But if it is a secure website, then port will be taken from different place. So now question arises that what is the port? So these are the little bit, the related with the networking. So I will be explaining these, the web address, the port, and secure ports into the database, the network design, unit. Let me come to the another concept, the post implementation review.
Okay.
One second. Yes, the in previous slide, I already explained to you post implementation review, and I added, this another slide for you to understand and to read furthermore. So we already covered this, that post implementation review. Once you implemented this phase, and then you look at both the performance and the functionality objectives. So something more is here. So let me close the recording of this session first, and then we can discuss more any questions about this.